Oh my gosh, Craig.
Yes.
We
Yes.
wondered. I mean, we wondered about this team. Just wondered because the Seahawks game felt so odd that you just really wondered what we had, who we were, what could
Yep.
we be. And this game, what did you learn during this game? I mean, what there's so many things to learn. What did you learn?
I learned, okay, that we are the cream of the NFC North crop.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that's my biggest takeaway because as you look at the stats and as we're watching, there's 2 minutes left as we're recording this. David Montgomery just got his 30th carry. Oh my goodness. But nobody's stats, other than his and his yards per carry, even aren't there, jump off the page at you. Nobody's stats. But
Right.
yet, this game, we completely dominated the only other team that looks good at all. Like in the
Yeah.
division, like they're the only team that through the first couple weeks has or first few weeks has looked decent at all. I mean, think about it. Goff threw for 205, touchdown and a pick. Montgomery ran for 119 yards, but it's taken 31 carries. St. Brown only had 4 catches. Laporta had 4 catches. Like nothing is insane here. Jerry Jacobs had 2 picks. He had a great night, thank goodness, right? But like nothing was insane, and yet this game wasn't even close.
No, I'm glad you said that because that we got nervous. I think we all kind of were like, okay, all right, because we just completely dominated. But if you just step back and you're not a fan of the Lions, you're just a neutral fan. You're like,
Yep.
we dominated, and that's what's going to happen. You come out of halftime, you're trying to play a little safe. Jordan Love throws a couple, like that's totally fine.
Yep.
This was not a close game. When it was like rubber meets the road, first quarter, they couldn't do anything. Remember that little option play where Branch hits the quarterback
Dude.
and then we cover up I mean, it's like, let's go. That point
Oh,
right
and then
there.
they upended Aaron Jones, sent him for
Yes.
a 360 front flip.
Yes. Like, let's go. That was so yeah, what I learned is yeah, we are, whether guys are injured, whoever's in there, we've got a star in Aiden Hutchinson. So you got our line set.
Yep.
Linebackers look good, and secondary's
Yes.
playing well.
Even with
Teams,
all the injuries.
yeah, even with injuries, and teams cannot run on us. And when you can stop the run and run the ball, then you allow a guy like Ben Johnson to
Yes.
scheme up. How about those? I mean, some of the stuff at the goal line where he brought like a double motion off to the left to get us more numbers on the left and run it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's just so many innovative things, but he can do that because we can stop the run defensively, and then we're running the ball. We got a great offensive line. Then
Yeah.
Goff's playing well. There's a lot there. So I'll shut up, but I'll say what what did you like about our defense mainly as you watched this? Obviously the pressures and stuff. What did you like?
Yeah, and then I want to talk about something different too.
Yeah, yeah.
What I liked, and they hit on it at halftime too. What I loved was that the defense was able to get a large amount of pressure, and there's another first down, game over. There was a large amount of pressure, and we were just rushing 4. And
Mm,
sometimes that fourth rusher was Jack Campbell. Sometimes it was Barnes. It wasn't always a defensive lineman, but we were only rushing 4, and we kept repeatedly getting to Jordan Love. This is back-to-back games against mobile quarterbacks, and the mobile quarterbacks didn't kill us with their feet. Not at all. And after watching what Geno Smith did to us in week 2, like that was one of the things where it's like, all right, here we go again. Mobile quarterbacks are going to kill us,
uh-huh.
right? And like every year, mobile quarterbacks are going to kill us. Nope. So I think when you ask, what do I like about the defense? What I liked was we got to the quarterback and there was sticky coverage. I didn't see, there's very few times where people were just running wide open.
Yes. Oh,
Sticky coverage by the corners, man.
100%. And that's something we haven't seen. We haven't seen the pressure. We haven't seen again, and this you can't blame guys like you and I, man. A lot of guys in the comments and stuff. You've been watching Lions forever, and it's like, man, we're playing so well. It's unbelievable. 4 straight games against Green Bay. I love it at Lambeau. And another thing that I love, the crowd. There's so much blue in the crowd, and you saw that
Yes.
at Kansas City.
Did you
But
hear it?
yes,
Did you hear the "Let's Go Lions" chants in the
I
first half?
a couple times I heard it. Yes, and so
Oh man.
what the heck, man? Like, dude, you
Oh
can't even.
man.
It's so awesome, and I'm just so like, I need a minute really to let this all sink in. This
Well,
is
while
awesome.
you're letting it sink in, I got something else for you.
Yes.
And it was one of those things, and we can talk about this again in a few minutes, but I just want to mention it here for a second. End of the third quarter, play clock clearly at 0, right? Like the game clock, not the play, whatever. It should be over with. Those are the type of plays that always burned us in the past.
Game over.
Right?
Yep.
Game over. Like, this is how they come back. This is how they win. Our team, and I think what we're starting to realize, what I'm starting to realize, it wasn't that our team was just unlucky. We just weren't talented enough.
Mm-hmm.
And so when all these crazy things keep happening, and we lose the games, well, crazy things happened in this game. That shouldn't have happened. Like, that call should not have happened, and then they get a touchdown. But in the grand scheme of things, we still doubled them up on points. We won 34-17 because we were by far the better team.
Yes.
Who cares?
I love that.
So it was just so much fun to be able to be like, oh, this is stupid. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm actually not that mad because we'll be fine.
Dude, that is what I totally agree, because in the past, you're right. We would spend all week thinking about that. It hit 0. It hit 0. And it's like, those things happen. You nailed it. But when you're able to overcome it. So like the Quay Walker stuff, they have 0 margin for error. And that's what the Lions had. 0 margin for error. So you make a mistake, Quay Walker, thank you. We can always count on you down the goal line to do something for us. And it end the game right there.
Yep.
And you can blame him and we can thank him, but we dominated. That didn't matter. I mean, we were just dominating the game. So I love that you said that. That's a great point.
Yeah, and I'm watching the game. I'm watching the game with my wife. That was great, right? And she's like, "Are you worried? Like, they're starting to come back?" And I'm just like, "We were up 24 with a half to go. It's just we're up by too many to lose."
Yep.
Like, they would have to play absolutely perfect, and we would have to play absolutely atrocious. We outgained them to, what was it, 284-20 in the first half? And they would have to do that exact same thing in the second half. I didn't see that happening.
Oh,
And so
yes.
like, that was just crazy. What do you got?
No, I think Lions fans, we still have it in us a little bit, but it's like we can get rid of those nervousness those anxious moments when the team's like it's like, oh man, they scored. It's like, we're still down 3 scores, and because we can run the ball. I love that we can run the ball, and I love the innovation and the one step ahead. They mentioned the broadcast of Ben Johnson. He did a lot of play action on first down. You hit Reynolds. I mean, Goff, and I'll just spend a second on Goff. Goff can make a couple of throws per game. That's like, it's huge. It's big time. And then you see players like the last 2 quarterbacks we played, Ritter and Love. Man, he missed a couple that those keep the drives going. That's a 20-yard gain. That Love missed in this game, right when at that critical. And again, I mean, but there were some critical points where it's like, nice, he missed that guy. Where Goff fits that. Remember, we're reeling a little bit, not reeling, but it's like we hit Laporta on like our second drive.
And what a great catch by Laporta.
Great catch, great, and that's the difference. And if we have Goff, we can do some good things this year, as long as we have Goff healthy.
Yeah, as long as we have Goff healthy. And I think too, I will say on the running back room, like, Montgomery's a beast. He's better than Williams ever was. It is awesome to see Montgomery work. Please stay healthy. You can't run him 30 times a game, but I get it. He didn't have any carries last game, so you can give him a few more on this one. But you know what? Like, he's a workhorse. He's a beast. Gibbs, come on. It's time to go, man. Like, it's time to go. And I will say that, like, for a running back, he has plenty of time. Like, Montgomery's here. Gibbs needs to be good by game 8, 9, something like that. But I did see in the second half a little bit lack of the big playmaking. But that's okay, because we didn't have to. We just didn't have to.
We didn't have to. And man, some of the comments here, you're 4-0 or 4-0 in the last 4 against Green Bay. You're leading the division. It's obvious that the Bears are not even a factor. Yeah. The Vikings could get weird. You never know with them, but I mean,
but 0-3 is tough, man. They're already talking about trading Cousins.
That's a hole. And then you watched a Green Bay team that Jordan Love is just not there yet. Just simply not a guy that you fear. I mean, it's not that at all. It's not even close to that. So it just feels good, man. It's like, and don't apologize for nothing that this division's a little weaker or whatever. I love it. This is
It
great.
doesn't matter. So
Nope.
what? And is it weaker, or is it just that Green Bay's not on top anymore?
That's right.
Right? Like, I think that's the thing where it's like, all right, now maybe there's a new team on top and it's the Lions. So everybody's just like, oh, the division's weaker. Not necessarily. I think it might just be, but it is, because the Bears and the Vikings are terrible. So